Let's look at some real live employee feedback. And this one is, I plan on being here in 5 years. Now notice the score, 72. That's pretty impressive with an 82% response rate. Wow, that's pretty darn okay. That's 5 years out. 72% of the employees think they're going to be here in 5 years. That turnover rate is crazy low. What I would do if I were a manager is I would take this and then start chopping it in half, maybe down to 2 years. How many of you think you'll be here in 2 years? How many of you think you'll be here in 1 year? Whether it was this score or any score, I think 5 years is a little bit too much. Get it to where it's more manageable in your employees' heads. Do you think you'll be here in 1 year? Yeah, how about 6 months even? Again, this is a great starter question, a great starter ping. Will you be here in 5 years? Now what you want to do, let's say your score for your company was like this company's at 72. You want to figure out, okay, what are we doing right? What is that makes it so good? And then you want to capitalize on that. If your score is lower, like a lot of companies are, then you want to follow up and figure out, what is it that makes our score so low? Why aren't they going to be here in 5 years or in 2 years or in 1 year? But you need to make sure you're focusing on engagement questions, not just satisfaction questions. Satisfaction questions like, do you like your benefit? Do you have enough vacation? Do you have the tools that you need? Are you being recognized well enough? Things like that. Not that they're bad things to ask, you definitely want to know that, but it doesn't get down to the engagement. And the engagement will make them stay much more than the satisfaction questions will. You want to know if they're working on projects that really mean something to them, if they're accomplishing something of great worth, if they can act without fear of retribution, and if they trust each other in management and have a whole sum of trust around them. These things keep people where they are. Now, one of the reasons you want to ask, even if you have a high score, you want to dive in and figure out what the details of this are, is because I've seen some companies that would probably have a 72, which is pretty high in 5 years, but they're only holding out until retirement because they've got a good nest egg at the end, and they know that if they leave now, that they're going to lose it. It doesn't help them work any better. It just helps them hold out. There's some benefit to that, but not all the benefit that I think you would want. So here's my challenge to you. In your meetings, ask, what is it that makes this place such a good place to work? Or is it, and you're just holding out for retirement? You got to figure out what that is. And then with the good things, replicate them. And with the things that aren't working so well, you got to change them a little bit. Those things will make a huge difference in the score. What would you do? Go to the Love Your Work Facebook group and tell us. And until then, love your work.